Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Heart for the Community Initiative third annual Black Business Showcase. It is Black History Month, and for the third year in a row, Heart for the Community Initiative has decided to shine the spotlight on Black owned businesses in the DMV region. And for those that don't know what the DMV means, that is not the Division of Motor Vehicles, not for this. This is DC, Maryland, and Virginia. And so throughout this month, we have some tremendously run businesses of all different types and ilks throughout Maryland, DC, and Virginia. And we're going to be bringing these businesses to you. The sole purpose of what we're doing here is to make sure that you know who the Black owned businesses are in your area. Many times, these people are your neighbors, members of your churches and your communities. And I know for a fact, sometimes we think we know people, and there are things about them that we don't know. And you may not know that you have a tremendous business owner right in your community who provides the goods and services that you need. While we were in the studio before we came on, I just told Bria Matthews of Virginia's for Movers, I didn't even know that she offers junk removal. And I got some junk that need to be removed. So I'm going to be calling Bria. So you're going to learn all about these type of things this month as we're going through the Black Business Showcase. Now, if you're watching this and you are a Black business owner and you have not gotten in contact with me, you can hit me up on Facebook. You can hit me up in my messenger, Carl Armstrong, or you can email heartforthecommunity@gmail.com. If you use the number 4, heartforthecommunity@gmail.com. And I'll be scrolling that information across the bottom of your screen. What I'd like for you to do, for those of you who are in the live audience, you would please begin to share your this broadcast. Let your friends know. Begin to tag your family and friends. We're live right now on YouTube and on Facebook. And so please begin to tag your family, friends, share the broadcast, let somebody know that we're here. And business owners, let me let you know, for those who don't catch it in the live broadcast, our playback game is strong. So if they don't catch you tonight, they will definitely catch you at a later time. So we're very happy tonight to kick off this year's Black Business Showcase. This is episode number 1 of many. And we have 3 tremendous business owners here with us tonight. We have Mr. Kazar Coleman of Kazar Entertainment. We have Miss Jeanette Holland of Blessed Hands. And we have Miss Bria Matthews of Virginia is for Movers. And I'm going to give these tremendous business owners a chance to introduce themselves and their businesses to you. So I'm going to start with Mr. Kazar Coleman. Sir, please introduce yourself to the audience.
Okay, well, first of all, let me just thank you, Mr. Armstrong, for being on this show, allowing me to be on the show. My name is actually Kazar Coleman with Kazar Entertainment. That's a corporation I formed back about 13 years ago. What I do is, by trade, I'm an international multi-award-winning independent filmmaker. And I provide multimedia services through video editing, video productions, that kind of thing. In addition to that, I am you probably didn't notice, I'm a custom shoe designer too. I have an Italian shoe line that I've designed myself, crafted, and it's out there. But basically, I am from the DMV area. I'm located in the Southern Maryland area. And what I do is say, like, if you're an author or someone with a story and you want to take your story and turn it into a motion picture, I show you how to do that through the A to Z's and the steps, and I'll walk with you through that. In addition, if you may have, like, your business, you want to do a commercial, or you just want to provide training services or whatever the media is, I have a full service production company to facilitate that.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Coleman. Thank you. That was his introduction. Now we're going to go to Miss Jeanette Holland of Blessed Hands. Jeanette, please introduce yourself to the audience and tell them a little about you and your business.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jeanette Holland. My company is Bless Hands. Thank you, Carl, so much for the opportunity to spotlight my business during this month. Um, Again, my business is called Bless Hands, and I'm a fiber artist by trade. I create fiber art, Afrocentric art, quilts. I also have a second part of the Bless Hands product line where I do merchandising, brand products that includes T-shirts, mugs, tumblers, anything you could think of. Where you can put your brand on, I do that as well. I try to give back to the community and I hire young teenagers to help out and show them the business side and allow them to create. So I really thrive in giving back and trying to teach our young folks about quilting. It's a kind of a lost art, and I'm just happy to be able to showcase my artwork and put some interest back into the quilting world and the fiber art world. Um, so that's Bless Hands.
All right, from the looks of things behind you, it seems like you're doing pretty good with that quilted and artwork. It is beautiful.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, next we have Miss Bria Matthews of Virginia is for Movers.
Alrighty, so hi everybody. My name is Bria. I am the owner of Virginia is for Movers. Uh, Please excuse me. I do look a little horrible today because I did just get off of a move. But aside from that, I am the owner of Virginia is for Movers. I own it with my husband, so we are family owned. Aside from that, we offer a plethora of other services stemming from junk removal, carpet cleaning, house cleaning, packing, materials, so on and so forth, anything that you truthfully need. Um, my company recently started offering afterpay. We really believe that every family deserves to move. In our industry, we see a lot of evictions, death of family members, so on and so forth. So we just want to make sure that everybody, can move into the next chapter of their life safely and securely.
All right. We thank you all for that. Now, this is what I want to ask you all. And I'm going to start with Miss Jeanette Holland first. I want you to tell the audience your story. What in the world made you want to get into fiber arts? Um, and somebody like me, I'm just a hood kid, right? I
Mhm.
never knew that you could make a living doing fiber arts. That was pie in the sky for a guy like me. So we want to know, how did you get into this? How are you sustaining? And what does Blessed Hands look like next year, 3 years down the road, 5 years down the road?
Okay, that's a lot of questions there. But to tell you how I got started, it was actually during the pandemic. I tell you, um, I dabbled in just sewing, and about 7 years ago, my daughter was crossing over AKA, and I wanted to make something special for her. So I went to Walmart and purchased a brother, little cheap, $150 brother sewing machine. And I said, okay, I'm going to try this out. And I made her a pillow quilt. And that was my first actual quilt. And I tell you, I always had an interest. I grew up in Natchitoches, Louisiana, and I grew up around quilts and always was fascinated with quilts. And I told myself, I said, one day I'm going to teach myself how to make a quilt. And so after I made my daughter's quilt, I put it down for a few years. And when the pandemic started, they had a call, Joann's had a call for quilts, not quilts, but masks. And because of the shortage of masks. So I said, okay, well, I have this sewing machine. Let me, I think I could sew some masks together. So I ended up doing a lot of masks. And it actually allowed me, and I expanded the business into brand products, and it allowed me to actually retire from 25 years of IT work. And I actually just, pursued my dream. I said, I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I wanted to get out on my own, and I was loving what I was doing. So that's how I got started. And it was funny because my second quilt that I did, I just joined a Facebook group, Black Girls Quilt. And I put a picture up, and I'm just thinking, okay, thank you for, allowing me to join the group, see all the inspiration. So I put a quilt out there, and a curator was in the group, and she saw my work, and she reached out to me and said, would you consider creating a piece for an exhibit that I'm doing? And I had no idea about fiber art. I didn't know anything. I just knew how to just, do a little quilt. And I asked her, I said, are you really asking me to do this? And she said, yeah. She said, you have a lot of talent, and I think you could do it. So that was my entry into the fiber art world. And I just been developing the craft since then, and it's going on, I guess, about 5 years now. Well, 5 years of sewing, and it's been about 3 years of actually full-time fiber artists. I could call myself an artist. And but yeah, I just, I took something that I love to do, and I just went for it, stepped out on faith, quit my IT job, had the support of my family, and just went for it.
That is awesome. I like that story. Miss Bria, I want you to tell the audience about your story. How in the world did you get started? When I look at you, I don't see a mover, but you sure did some moving today. Tell us your story.
Okay, so essentially, my husband has been working. Well, my husband worked for moving companies for the last couple of years, and it was a fairly fun industry, like a lot of camaraderie, so on and so forth. But like, I want to say, like towards the end of the pandemic, however you want to look at whatever that was, we started to see a need of people like getting back to normal, and it just suddenly became a rule that I think that maybe like an eviction ban was like lifted. So we started to see a boom in people needing to move, and essentially we just felt like we could do it better. I tell my husband all the time that we are truthfully in the business of taking care of people. We want to make sure that that you're calm from the beginning to end, because moving is really stressful. I don't move myself, crazily, but I do move other people, and we do understand as humans that everybody needs somebody, and essentially we just like to be that person for other people. So it became really easy to just start a moving company.
Oh, wow. That is awesome. Thank you for sharing that. All right, Mr. Kazar, I'm going to get it right before we get off of here. Tell us your story, sir. Tell us your story, sir.
Well, it's a little different. I've always been in the form of art or entertainment all my life, whether it been drawing as a young boy with art, or been on a dance television show, or as a bodybuilder, or some form. I even did the singing for a while. Went all the way to Moscow. But as far as the Kazar Entertainment, about 16 years ago, coming off of a divorce, I needed to identify who I was, and I didn't realize who I was. I wanted to pursue things, and came across an advertisement for background actors. And I said, okay, well, that looks like that'll be something fun to do. So I got into that, and then I got bit by what they call a bug. And I did that for consistently for about 6 years in different roles. And I was fascinated to learn how movies come together, the behind the scenes thing. And so I started pursuing opportunities to work behind the scene, and began to learn from various production companies that were around. Once I got up to speed on that, I kind of felt like there was a void that wasn't being met for me on the production side. So I decided, let me do it myself. So that's when I launched. And this was initially Kazar Productions. It turned into Kazar Entertainment as I expanded the range of my services. So I've been doing it. That's pretty much how I did it. I've tried to, from a community standpoint, we believe in bringing others up. So as I've seen aspiring artists or aspiring filmmakers trying to understand the concept, because there's a business side as well as the creative side to what we do. I've tried to mentor, kind of to come alongside and help them get to that next level. So that's pretty much what I've been doing, and I've gotten recognized for it in different ways, and the support, and I appreciate the support. I've initially I started selling my own, producing my own movies that I've written myself. That brain never stops. But I extended it out to helping others with their productions from start to finish to get that out there. So that's kind of where I am now. The shoes was an opportunity that was surprising to me. So I had written a masterclass workbook called Kazar Spices. And within that, I developed a shoe line that I call Kazar Spices, where I craft individual shoes based off concepts. So, that's what's out there. And that's how I got into it. I'm enjoying life. Oh, one other thing. I came from a 30-year IT background, too, with the federal government. So I stepped away, and I completely identify with her.
This is amazing. We have two people here, at least two people. I'm going to ask Bria in a minute, who stepped away from what they were doing to pursue their dream. I'll tell you, I'm one of those persons. I'm a dreamer. The part of me is, in all of my adult life, I've always tried to read about successful, interesting people. And I've always wanted to know their stories, because there's a story behind what we see. We see Jeanette's art, right? We see those quilts, but there's a story behind it. We can look at Kazar Entertainment. And I've seen this, I think it's an IMD page. I'm like, oh, this dude is a filmmaker for real. But there's a story behind all that. He just told us a part of it. Coming off of a divorce 16 years ago, you're trying to find yourself. There's a lot of stories in that. And even Miss Bria, husband said, hey, let's do this. I think that's what she said. And there they are. But I want to get into this. And Bria, I'm going to start with you. Now, there are a lot of moving companies, but we're talking about Virginia is for Movers tonight. What makes your company a little different? What is it that you guys bring to the table that kind of separates you from the other moving companies?
Very, very good. So aside from being a company that offers Afterpay, which breaks down your bill, I believe it's like 4 biweekly payments, which a lot of times is very, very helpful, especially in an emergency situation and just need your items moved very quickly. But we also are a 24-hour company. So that means that you can actually reach anybody on my team, call, text, or email 24 hours in a day. Again, and that comes in those times where it's like 2, 3 a.m., you're packing up your house and you start thinking, wow, did I tell my movers about this extra treadmill that I had down in my basement from 16 years ago because I got divorced? But, essentially, we're here for all of that. So that's when, those are a couple of the things that make my company unique. We also take our money that we make from our company. We do a lot of community work. We sponsored a Black-owned comedy show earlier last year, but we also are in the works. We got approved, and I want to say approved. We got approved to sponsor Black History field trips for Alexandria City high school students. So hopefully by the summer, we'll have some students in some local buildings instead of going maybe to the Air and Space Museum on a random Wednesday. So again, those are some of the things that make my company unique. And, we just hope to go forward.
Well, I tell you what, as somebody coming from humble beginnings, out of all that you said, what really stuck? Those 4 installment payments. Man, oh man. We keeping it real. You probably earned some customers tonight. Your phone gonna blow up. Jeanette, I want to come over to you. There are other people who do what you do. And I want to know, when people come to Blessed Hands, what will they experience that is so much different than going to somebody else to have a mask made or shirts and I don't think people know you do cups. I mean everything, but getting service at Blessed Hands, what makes that experience different?
First of all, I think I'm very, at the product side, I think I'm very affordable. And what you're getting is someone who can design, do graphics to design, custom, all custom, and put it all together for you. And you don't have, and I'm local. I'm Black owned, I'm female, and I'm local. Of course, I do business all around the country, but what you get in the product side is just a very one-to-one personal contact, and I work with you on whatever you need, and I don't try to, you know, overcharge you for it. But I also think the products that I produce are very good products as well, and the quality. As far as the fiber art and the quilts, it's one of a kind. Everything you get will be totally one of a kind from me. And I, a lot of my work, or most of my work, is Afrocentric. So it's very unique, very, just like you see in the background, is very, very unique items. And when I take commission, and I take a lot of commission work, I talk to the person to see what they want and what they're looking for, and what's the inspiration, and they're going to get a unique, beautiful product from me. And it's not going to be like anything else anyone else has. So it's totally unique. So that's what makes Blessed Hands stand apart from a lot of people. It's the art, and it's unique, and it's catered to the customer.
Let me take myself off of mute. Let me tell you, I can testify. I've done some business with Blessed Hands, and it has always been for the quality of the work, for the experience, and the prices have been fair, I must say. Now, Mr. Kazar, I saved this question for you for last because I want to know, you into movie making, storytelling. What makes you so different in this area? What makes you so different in this area?
I think what makes me different. Well, let me just say this: there are a lot of talented filmmakers, producers, directors in the DMV, and more coming up. I would say I've been tested and proven. I've been in it for a minute, so I've learned the ins and outs. There's a lot of moving parts to it. So a lot of times when you come to someone, you don't want to come to someone that you have to guess and figure out whether or not they can take you from A to Z. A lot of them can, but what I do differently is I go beyond and above. I try to go beyond and above what really is expected or even required of me, because I want to see you successful with what you're doing. I want to see you successful in the end, and to be able to go back and be proud of seeing your finished work on a screen or wherever platform you choose to do. But I want you to be comfortable in the experience. I want you to not feel stressed out, knowing that you're coming to a guy who, with the team that have done it before, and we can take, and if we get into buyers, we can take you past that to the next step. So I think what makes me unique is probably my passion, my extensive knowledge. I'm not saying I know it all because it's constantly changing, but I know enough. And I had the credentials, as you say, to show that I've done it long enough.
Awesome. Now, I want to know if you guys have any special events coming up, any special products or projects that you're working on. And I'm going to start with Mr. Kazar. Any special products, products, or events?
Well, we just finished wrapping up the filming of My Soulmate, which initially was going to be a pre-Valentine's showing. Ran into a couple snags, but that's going to be put out there very soon. I think they're going to enjoy it. It's kind of like a project that highlights the dating arena from, a little comedy / drama. So that's one of the projects that's going to be out there really, really soon. We have others that I'm casting for, that I've put together, that I've cast for some of my clients. So I would say if you are an aspiring actor, or you just want to learn the business or get into it some kind of way, maybe even as a background extra, to reach out to me, because I do talent casting as well as training and others. So yeah, I always have something going on. I'm always designing new shoes, so you can check that out too.
Thank you. Y'all heard that right. He's casting. Now, I'm not trying to brag, but I've done a little acting myself. You know what I mean? I'm known in certain parts to do a little something here and there. I'm known to take over a scene just by my magnanimous presence. I'm just saying, not that I'm trying to drop my name or nothing like that on you. I'm just drop my name or nothing like that on you. I'm just. All right, Miss Bria, any special projects or products or any special events that you want the audience to know about?
Almost forgot about the mute button, but I was gonna say for any upcoming events, I would like to say just follow us on all platforms at VA the number 4 Movers with S at the end for any upcoming anything, because we have a lot going on, so I can't delete here.
All right, thank you. All right, Miss Jeanette, I saved you for last. I looked at your calendar. I can't tell it like you can. You go ahead.
I'm not going to list everything. But one of the latest, or will be coming up, will be I have been selected and will be one of the featured local African American artists at the Fredericksburg Museum. This exhibit will go for the whole year, starting March the 1st. And I have some work that's going to be on showcase. So I'm very, very proud of that. Locally, being recognized along with a couple of other local artists. So that's coming up March the 1st. And the exhibit will last the whole year, and it's at the Fredericksburg Museum. And it's going to be several different activities. There'll be classes, we'll be showcasing artists, question and answer day. So it's a lot of activities. Besides that, I have several exhibits this year. Like you mentioned, in May in Charleston, another one in August. And I tell you, several different vendor events. You can find me. I'll be posting that on the website as well. But yeah, just, as the exhibits and the call for artwork comes in, I'll see if I can go. But very, very busy. I have a lot of commission pieces. Yeah, and actually I'm booked up for the first quarter of this year. So, but a lot of commission pieces as well. So I'm excited about Blessed Hands this year.
Well, while I got you, I'm gonna ask you this question, and I'm gonna ask the other two also. Jeanette, what is your passion? You got a full calendar for the first quarter of this year. You got things going on. You're gonna be going out of town. What is it that drives you to do this?
I love it, because I'm constantly trying to improve. What can I do? What can I design? What can I create? And it's my passion. It's taking an idea, a design, just an idea, and actually taking it and creating something from that idea. That's my passion. I love to do it. And I tell you what, when I give my pieces to the customers, I tell you, it just makes me feel so good at the reaction. It's that satisfaction, like, okay, I did it. I made them happy. A lot of times it's tears. People get the artwork and they're in tears. And I'm like, okay, that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to give them something. I wanted to give them legacy items that they can pass down for generations. And, that excites me because I said, I have my label. I have something that I created that's going to be in other people's houses and passed down to their generations. So that excites me. That's my passion, is to know that I'm an artist, and I'm going to, when I'm dead and gone, my pieces will still be here.
Wow. One more question for you. When did you realize that you were an artist? Was this something that you noticed as a child and maybe in your adult years you got a chance to express it? Or is this something that maybe developed in you as you went on in life?
I was always creative. I took art classes in school, always been good with my hair. I've done all kind of things. I could cook. I can, I could do interior design, interior decorating. I could do so many things. I was always blessed, where the name Blessed Hands come from, because I could do a lot of things. And I tell you, it really is a good feeling, to be able to do this kind of work.
Thank you. Miss Bree, I want to ask you the same question. When it comes to this moving and all the things that your company does, what is your passion? What is it that drives you to get up every day and continue to do this? Because you could be doing other things, but you choose to do this every day. What's the passion?
So I would like to say my passion, kind of like taking care of people in a way. So I didn't have the best background growing up. Not a lot of support. I'm only 25, but I've been living by myself now for 7 years. It's gonna be since the day I turned 18 at almost 5 o'clock in the morning. So every day when I wake up, I really only have my daughters and my husband, and I have two cute little dogs, but I find solace almost in building relationships with the people in our community. And the people in our community are everybody from the cashiers that you meet at the grocery stores. I love saying hi to them. I love it even more when I move them and I move their mom and I meet their brother and their sister. But my passion is really people and taking care of people and making sure that honestly nobody has a bad day, because again, who really deserves that, right?
Wow, didn't expect to hear that. And from the movie, man, what is your passion? What drives you to create these stories?
What drives you to create these stories? So, the imagination is a wonderful thing. It can get you in trouble. It can take you to the moon, right? So, what drives me is, I can piggyback off Blessed Hands, having something to leave as a legacy, right? It's just doing what I love. I love what I do. I see people appreciate what I do. Not that I seek that from them, but it's a great thing to be appreciated for what you do and to know that you're making a difference in somebody's life. So it's about relationships. It's about helping people to get to their next level, seeing them fulfill their dreams, whether it be presenting a book or whatever. So for me, the passion comes from having a gift that God gave and using it to bless and to please Him.
This is amazing. We're going to be wrapping this in just a few minutes, but I feel like in these 33 minutes, we have not just learned about your businesses and your services, but we've learned something about your story and what drives you. And sometimes when I'm hosting these shows, I feel almost like an audience member because I learned so much. Now, I knew about Blessed Hands, but I didn't know anything about Kazar Coleman and Kazar Entertainment. I didn't know anything about Bria Matthews and Virginia is for Movers. And I'm going to tell the audience a little something. Now, I didn't even tell the Virginia Black Business Directory this, but normally the past 3 years, I almost exclusively get leads from the Virginia Black Business Directory. And so the ladies who have developed that, they are just awesome. And called Nisha Hall's Name. And listen, you guys are awesome for what you do. And of course, I shouldn't have called anybody's name because I'm horrible with names. And I have the other lady's name. I got her face right here in my mind, but I cannot call her name. But Virginia Black Business Directory is where Trey, that's her name, Trey, Janisha and Trey Hall. So this has been an amazing thing. I would encourage all of you, your Black business owners, to register with the Virginia Black Business Directory. It is an amazing thing. I'm sure these business owners can tell you that their price is reasonable, and I go there to get my leads. I hope that you feel like I do, audience. I hope that you feel like, number one, you've learned about 3 more businesses in the DMV area. Kazar Entertainment is up there in Maryland. Jeanette Holland right here in the Stafford area. And I believe that Miss Bria is also in Northern Virginia. Am I right? Okay, wonderful. Before we go, this is what I want you guys to do. And I'm going to start with Bria and then Jeanette and then Kazar. I want you to have closing remarks, anything that you may want to tell the audience. Maybe I didn't get a chance to ask you your home run question. Well, you can pretend like I asked you and you can just go ahead and answer it. Anything that you want the audience to know about you or your business, I want to give you the microphone and give you a chance to do that. And we'll start with you, Bria.
Well, start by saying, or end by saying, thank you, Mr. Carl, for giving me an opportunity to even speak my piece on this platform. I greatly appreciate you, everything from your quick response to, your kindness, even checking up on me like minutes before we started. So I appreciate you greatly. But aside from that, honestly, just book Virginia is for movers for everything. Moving, junk removal, packing, we do it all. Follow us on all platforms. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, YouTube. Subscribe us on YouTube. We're everywhere. But that's it.
All right. Thank you so much. Miss Jeanette Holland from Blessed Hands.
I just kind of want to leave it, if you're looking for unique products, you need artwork, and you have appreciation for art, or you're looking for some legacy items like quilts, any type of marketing products, I do those as well. Come look me up and let me work with you.
All right. Thank you so much, Miss Jeanette Holland. All right, brother Kazar.
Hey, a couple things. Something I haven't mentioned in detail is I do teach master classes on how the film process works as far as producing a movie from A to Z. And I have an authored workshop book that I have out there on Amazon. But I think more so than that, I would say, as a word of encouragement to the listeners, if you have a dream to do something, just plan it, think through it, seek out advice if you need advice, but do it. Don't be afraid to fail. You only fail when you don't try. So that would be my closing remarks, sir.
Thank you to all of these wonderful business owners. I want the audience to know something. We don't ask them for a dime. We don't do that. This platform, the Black Business Showcase, is to totally give our platform to the Black business owners so that they can get to know you, and more importantly, you get to know them. Now, we have put all of their contact information up all throughout this interview. We've been going on for about 38 minutes. So you can have all this information in the playback for those of you who don't catch it in the live audience. And we want you to get in contact with these business owners and seek them out. If nothing else, have a conversation so you can learn about their business, their products, and their services. Now, from the sound of things, all of them going to get a little bit of my money because I got to see what's going on. Listen, I want you all to know that Heart for the Community Initiative is a 501c3. We out here in the community. We've done a lot of work in Prince William County, Stafford County, and the Rappahannock region We've been in existence since 2017, and we thrive mostly off of free will giving from the public. Scrolling right now at the bottom of your screen is information where you can get in contact with Heart for the Community Initiative. And also, if you want to donate, we do receive funds by way of PayPal, by way of Cash App also, and also by way of Giveify. So if you feel touched to support this thing that we're doing, hey, please feel free to do so. And also, if you're in the DMV area and you're a Black business owner, and you know you need to take advantage of some of this free advertising and get to know our audience, you better come on. And if I know anything about owning business, anytime you can get some advertising and you don't have to pay for, you are doing well. So listen, we're going to be back on Sunday, the 5th of February, and we have another episode for you coming back at 6 p.m. And we're going to have Brother Andre Powell from Amped. We're going to have Chanel Ramos from Love and Light Doula. And we're going to have Miss Tremaine Brown from World Financial Group. So I want you to meet us here Sunday evening, February 5th at 6 p.m. And I'll be putting some information out. I want to thank Mr. Kezar Coleman. I want to thank Miss Jeanette Holland. I also want to thank Miss Bria Matthews. And y'all please know that I'm here. You got my information to contact me. If you need anything, a Heart for the Community and Carl Armstrong are here for you. Until Sunday at 6 p.m., y'all have a wonderful evening. Thank you for your time. Make sure that you share this broadcast. Let your family and friends know that the 3rd annual Heart for the Community Initiative Black Business Showcase is running during Black History Month. Until then, y'all have a wonderful time. Bye-bye.